How would you define fascism?
I don't really want to get into all of that history and
Does
stuff.
that mean you can't define it, though?
I don't want to talk about it right now.
Okay. How would you define fascism?
It's not an easy thing to define.
How would you define what fascism is?
I don't know. Fascist ideas.
And how would you define fascism?
You talked about the importance of defining racism, but I, unless I missed it, which is possible, I didn't hear your personal definition. Is there one that you would offer us? Like, how do you define racism?
Sure. So racism, I would define it as a collection of racist policies that lead to racial inequity that are substantiated by racist ideas.
All right, guys, so there was a moment that went viral where the mainstream liberal media and the liberal journalists were celebrating, okay? They were running a victory lap because conservative writer Bethany Mandel could not define what woke is on an episode of The Hill, okay, on Rising with Brianna Joy Gray. She couldn't define it, okay? She just went into brain fart mode when asked to define what woke is, even though she wrote a whole book on it. Take a look.
Americans consider themselves very liberal, and probably fewer of them consider themselves to be woke. And so, you know, when we talk about traditional...
What does that mean to you? Would you mind defining woke? Because it's come up a couple times, and I just want to make sure we're on the same page.
So, I mean, woke is sort of the idea that this is going to be one of those moments that goes viral. I mean, woke is something that's very hard to define, and we've spent an entire chapter defining it. It is sort of the understanding that we need to totally reimagine and redo society in order to create hierarchies of oppression. It's hard to explain in a 15-second soundbite.
Yeah, look, your time.
Yeah, so the left obviously tried to take advantage of the fact that this conservative author didn't know how to define wokeness, even though she wrote a whole book on it. And they tried to say, well, see, this is it, right? This is proof that the right just uses woke as a catch-all for anything that they don't like, right? They don't really know what it means. They just, they just use it as a slur, right? Because that's the argument now. Wokeness is a slur, right? This is what they're saying. Calling somebody woke is a slur, okay? However, that's just simply not the case, okay? I use the term woke a lot, but I always use it in a way in which I know exactly what I mean when I say woke, okay? The way I define woke, and I hope that other people pick up my definition of it, because it's very simple. Woke is simply just far left, progressive ideology, particularly when it comes to social change. Like, for example, I've never called increasing the minimum wage woke, right? Or even universal health care woke. Those are progressive policies, but they're not woke. And the reason why they're not woke, or I won't consider them to be woke, is because they're not really grounded in social change. Now, you can use social arguments, okay, far left social arguments, woke arguments, right, to support a policy like raising the minimum wage or, universal health care or something like that. You can use those arguments, but that doesn't make those policies in and of themselves woke, okay? Now, when it comes to certain other issues, like, for example, diversity, equity, and inclusion, like, those are, by definition, woke policies, because those policies are literally meant and created to try to enact far left social change. Okay, that is the whole point of those policies. Those policies are ideological in nature, right? To support, again, far left social change. Okay, now that is what I define as wokeness. Okay, and I think that's a very simple definition, and it's all encompassing and very easy to apply. And that doesn't just go for policy, it also goes for people, okay? Like, for example, I can say without a doubt that the cackling hens on The View are woke, okay? They're all woke, especially Sunny, okay? Sunny's definitely probably the wokest on the show, right? That's woke, very easy to apply, okay? You know exactly what I'm talking about. They adhere to far left social ideology. They want social progressive change. This is what they want. Okay, that's woke in my opinion. But somebody like Bill Maher is not woke. Okay, somebody like Joe Rogan is not woke. Okay, because they don't really try to push for, again, far left social change, right? With people who are pushing for far left social change, whether it be on racial issues, gender issues, whatever. Yeah, those people are woke, right? Those are people that I consider to be woke. And speaking of woke people, I can clearly define and see that this person is woke. I think anybody with 2 brain cells knows this person is woke. The number one race hustler on the left, Ibram X. Kendi, okay, who's written books about racism, right? Again, you're supposed to be an expert in this stuff, just like that conservative writer was supposed to be an expert in wokeness, okay? He couldn't even define racism. Again, despite being a racism expert, can't define racism, or put it this way, his definition of racism is so mind-boggling, right? It's so circular in logic that it doesn't even make sense, right? It makes no sense whatever. It is clear this man has no clue how to define racism, or maybe he's just defining it as whatever he deems to be racist. Take a look.
You talked about the importance of defining racism, but I unless I missed it, which is possible, I didn't hear your personal definition. Is there one that you would offer us? Like, how do you define racism?
Sure. So racism, I would define it as a collection of racist policies that lead to racial inequity that are substantiated by racist ideas. Sure. A collection of racist policies that lead to racial inequity that are substantiated by racist ideas. And anti-racism is pretty simple, using the same terms. Anti-racism is a collection of anti-racist policies leading to racial, anybody want to take a guess? Equity that are substantiated by anti-racist ideas.
Incredible. That's the clip that should be going viral, because the term racist is literally being used by the left the same way that the left accuses the right of using the word woke, okay? It's a catch-all, right? For anything that they don't like or that they don't agree with, is racist, okay? Everything is racist, okay? Everything is racist. I mean, I literally saw an article today about how a professor claimed that pantries are rooted in racist and sexist social structures. Pantries. Organized pantries are racist and sexist. Yeah, everything is racist and sexist, okay? Apparently, the traditional wife is racist and sexist as well, too. Read about that. Everything that the left does not like is racist and sexist, right? Again, it's just hilarious how that works, because they actually use these words as a catch-all for anything that they don't like. Anything they disagree with is racist. It's amazing how that works. And when asked to define racism from a racism expert, his definition of racism basically is racist policies and initiatives that have racist outcomes substantiated by racist ideas. Which brings you back to the question of, okay, what's the definition of racist? Right? What is the definition of racist? Because we have to define what racist is in order to know what a racist policy or idea is, or a racist outcome is, or a racist ideology or whatever. How are we supposed to know, right? If you can't define racism, okay? But again, he does that on purpose, right? It's on purpose because basically if you keep the definition as broad as possible, okay? If you don't actually define what racist is or racism is, then it can just be whatever he says is racist, which is probably the greatest business model in the world, right? It really is, because you got to understand, this guy, Ibram X. Kendi, gets paid to tell people that they're racist and how to fix it, right? So if I'm consulting this guy's a business, right, I want to solve racism in my company, which is a waste of time. It doesn't improve your profit margin or anything like that. But this is what companies claim they wanted to do, especially after George Floyd, right? So this is how this guy got rich. I say, hey, Ibram, Mr. Kendi, how do I solve racism in my company, right? What is racism, or what is racist about my company? Well, if Ibram X. Kendi is the only person that can define what that is, then his answer to that question is simple. Anything that I say is racist and you need to fix it. And that basically gives him free reign to rack up as much of the bill as he wants, right? Because if he says it's racist, then it's racist. Right? He doesn't need to define it. He can just say, look, whatever I say is racist is racist because I'm the racism expert. Therefore, if I deem it racist, then you need to pay me to fix it, right? And your whole company is racist, bro. Down to the desktop, okay? Down to the equipment, right? Down to the clothes these people wear. All that stuff is racist. Everything in your company is racist, okay? The whole system is racist. Therefore, you got to pay me to fix it. And it's the most amazing business model I've ever seen in my life. It's very simple. Everything that I say is wrong with your company, is racist, and I'm the only person that can fix it because I'm the only person that can define and see racism. You can't see it because you're white. You're incapable of seeing it, right? Absolutely amazing. And people go along with this. Idiots pour money into listening to this guy speak or buying his books or consulting with him on how to solve racial issues in their company. When the guy clearly has a incentive to just say that everything is racist, right? Because that's how he gets paid. If there was no racism, this guy wouldn't get paid, right? It's really that simple. So again, while the left is kikiing and ha-haing about a conservative writer not being able to define wokeness, which again, I do admit is a pretty embarrassing moment, the left, they can't define racism, right? Racism is used, or the word racist is used the exact same way that they claim that people on the right use wokeness as a catch-all slur. No. Me personally, I don't use woke as a catch-all slur. Okay, when I use it with a real meaning, right? You know, I know what I'm identifying. I know what I'm saying. I know how I'm applying this definition. Racist is just used for literally anything that the left doesn't like. Anything the left doesn't agree with is racist, even though they can't really define it. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.